Welcome to the Air Game Podcast, Episode 4, NDC, and its role in revenue management and distribution. NDC is one of those things that's buzzing around the travel industry, but can feel a bit like a secret handshake. It's important, but not quite sure what it means.
Yeah, it's definitely a game changer, not just some tech upgrade,
Yeah.
right? It's a complete overhaul of how airlines connect with you, the traveler.
Okay, so let's unpack this. For those of us who haven't cracked the NDC code yet, can you give us the elevator pitch?
Sure. Imagine you're booking a concert ticket. You see different prices based on demand, seat location, even VIP packages, right?
Yeah.
NEC is bringing that kind of flexibility and dynamic pricing to the airline world.
So instead of those fixed fare classes we're used to seeing, things could get a lot more, shall we say, interesting.
Exactly. NDC allows airlines to move away from the one-size-fits-all model of the past. It's about tailoring offers to individual needs and preferences.
And this all ties back to revenue management. How does NDC help airlines make more money, or at least be smarter about how they price their seats?
Well, think about it. Right now, airlines rely heavily on global distribution systems, those big middlemen that connect them with travel agents and online platforms. But GDSs are built on outdated technology, they're slow, and they take a cut of every sale.
So NDC is like cutting out the middleman, going directly to the source.
Precisely. By connecting directly with travelers or travel sellers using NDC, airlines can control their offerings, showcase their unique services, and potentially even lower distribution costs, which could translate to better fares.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here, both for airlines and travelers. But how does this direct connection actually work? You mentioned some techie terms earlier.
Right, so instead of relying on the clunky systems of the past, NDC uses modern data formats like XML and JSON.
Oh, yeah.
These are like languages that computers understand, allowing for seamless communication and real-time updates between airlines and travel sellers.
So it's like switching from snail mail to instant messaging. Everything's faster, more dynamic. But what does this mean for the actual booking experience? What changes for the person shopping for a flight?
That's where things get exciting. With NDC, airlines can offer you a much wider range of options and personalize the experience. Imagine searching for a flight, and instead of just seeing basic fare options, you also see bundles tailored to your preferences.
Bundles. Give me an example. What kind of magical bundles are we talking about?
Let's say you're a business traveler. An airline could offer a bundle that includes extra legroom, priority boarding, and lounge access, all packaged together for a slightly higher price than just the base fare. Or, if you're a family traveling with young children, a bundle with pre-selected seats together and early boarding to ease the stress.
That's clever. So instead of having to hunt down each of those options individually, they're presented as a package deal. Makes the whole process a lot smoother.
Exactly. And with NDC, airlines can go even further with personalization.
Let's see how NDC is like playing out in the real world for travelers. Are there any real-world examples of airlines successfully using NDC?
Absolutely. Several airlines are already using NDC to offer, quite innovative products and services. For example, some airlines are using NDC to create bundled vacation packages
Okay.
that include flights, hotels, even activities all in one booking.
So I could book my entire vacation in one place
Yeah.
instead of like piecing it together myself.
Exactly. And some airlines are using NDC to personalize offers based on past travel history.
So if I usually book like business class flights to a particular destination, the airline might offer me a personalized discount for my next trip.
That's right. It's all about making the travel experience more seamless and personalized.
Right.
Imagine an airline remembering your preferences and catering to them.
I can actually see myself using this. So NDC sounds like a pretty big deal, but where does IATA fit into all of this?
Well, IATA, the International Air Transport Association, they play a key role in setting standards for NDC.
Okay.
Think of them as a referee, making sure everyone's playing by the rules.
Uh-huh.
They developed guidelines to ensure, NDC is implemented consistently across the industry.
So they're the rule makers of the NDC game.
Exactly.
What about the ARM index? You mentioned that before.
Right. So the ARM index is like a Yelp review for, how NDC savvy an airline is. The higher the score, the more personalized deals and cool features you'll find on their website. It grades airlines on how well they're implementing NDC and using its capabilities, like the range of content they offer, their ability to personalize offers.
So it's a way for travelers to see which airlines are really embracing NDC and offering the best experience.
Exactly. The higher an airline's ARM index score, the more likely they are to offer a truly NDC-enhanced travel experience.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's shift gears a bit. We've talked about the benefits for airlines and travelers, but what about the other players in the travel ecosystem? What's the impact on travel agents and online booking platforms?
That's a great question. For travel agents, NDC presents both challenges and opportunities. It requires them to adapt to new technology and potentially change how they interact with airlines. However, it also allows them to offer their clients more personalized and comprehensive travel experiences.
So for travel agents who are willing to embrace the change, NDC could be a way to really stand out from the crowd and offer more bespoke service.
Absolutely. And for online travel agencies, or OTAs, NDC is forcing them to up their game as well. They need to find ways to integrate this new technology and offer the same level of personalization that airlines are providing directly.
It sounds like NDC is really shaking up the travel landscape, creating both winners and losers along the way. But from a traveler's perspective, is this ultimately a good thing? Are we heading towards a travel utopia where everything is perfectly tailored to our needs? Or is there a risk of things becoming too complicated and fragmented?
That's the million-dollar problem. I think the key lies in standardization and collaboration. Right now, each airline is implementing NDC in its own way, which can create inconsistencies and confusion for travelers and travel sellers.
So it's like having different chargers for every phone brand. Super annoying. What needs to happen to make this a more seamless experience for everyone involved?
Industry-wide standards are crucial. We need to ensure that the data being exchanged is consistent and easily understandable across all platforms. And airlines need to work together to make the transition as smooth as possible for both travel agents and travelers.
Collaboration over competition, at least in the initial stages. Makes sense.
Ugh.
But even with standardization, there are still bound to be some bumps in the road, right? What are some of the biggest challenges facing the widespread adoption of NDC?
One of the biggest hurdles is legacy technology. Many airlines and travel agents are still using outdated systems that aren't compatible with NDC. Upgrading these systems can be costly and time-consuming.
Those pesky legacy systems strike again. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. But surely there are tech companies out there working on solutions to bridge this gap, right?
Absolutely. There's a whole ecosystem of tech providers developing tools to help airlines and travel sellers integrate NDC into their existing workflows. Think of them as translators between the old world and the new.
So it's a bit like the Wild West right now, with lots of innovation and experimentation happening. But as NDC matures, we can expect things to become more streamlined and user-friendly.
Exactly. And as more airlines and travel sellers adopt NDC, we'll start to see the real benefits come to fruition. More personalized offers, more ancillary options, more transparency, and control for travelers.
Okay, I'm cautiously optimistic, but let's play devil's advocate for a moment. What are some potential downsides or risks associated with NDC? Is there anything travelers should be wary of?
One concern is the potential for increased pricing complexity. As airlines gain more control over their offerings, we could see a wider range of fares and bundles, making it harder to compare apples to apples.
So instead of just choosing between economy and business class, we might have to decipher a whole matrix of options and add-ons.
Exactly. And that could lead to some travelers feeling overwhelmed or unsure if they're getting the best deal. Transparency will be key here. Airlines need to make it clear what's included in each offer and allow travelers to easily compare different options.
So it's a balancing act. More choice and personalization can be great, but not at the expense of clarity and simplicity. But, thinking back to our concert ticket analogy, sometimes the best deals go to those who are in the know, who understand the system and can navigate it effectively. Could NDC empower travelers in a similar way?
Absolutely. NDC has the potential to level the playing field, giving savvy travelers more control over their bookings and allowing them to snag the best deals. But it also requires travelers to be more informed and proactive.
So it's a call to action for all of us travel enthusiasts out there. We need to stay up to date on NDC developments, understand how it works, and be prepared to embrace the changes it brings. Because like it or not, NDC is here to stay, and it's going to shape the future of travel in profound ways.
I couldn't agree more. The future of travel is dynamic, personalized, and increasingly in the hands of the traveler. And NDC is the catalyst for this transformation.
So it sounds like we're on the cusp of a major shift in how we book and experience travel. But with all this talk about technology and data, it's easy to forget the human element. What does NDC mean for the relationship between travelers and airlines?
That's an interesting point. I think NDC has the potential to bring airlines and travelers closer together. By removing the layers of intermediation, airlines can communicate directly with their customers, understand their needs better, and build stronger relationships.
So instead of feeling like just another booking number, we might actually feel like valued customers again.
Exactly. And that can lead to increased loyalty and satisfaction on both sides.
But isn't there a risk of things becoming too impersonal? With all this automation and data-driven personalization, will we lose that human touch, that feeling of being cared for?
Yeah, it's a valid concern, but I think technology can actually enhance the human touch rather than replace it. For example, imagine an airline using NDC to proactively reach out to a traveler who has experienced a flight delay, offering personalized assistance and support.
So it's about using technology to empower human interaction, not eliminate it.
Precisely. NDC can free up airline staff to focus on providing more meaningful and personalized service to those who need it most.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. NDC is not just about technology, it's about transforming the entire travel ecosystem. But as with any major transformation, there will be challenges and uncertainties along the way.
Absolutely. NDC is still in its early stages of adoption, and we can expect some growing pains as the industry adapts. But the potential benefits are significant, both for airlines and travelers.
So for our listeners who are eager to ride the NDC wave, what advice would you give them? What can they do to prepare for this new era of travel?
Stay informed. Keep an eye on industry news and developments related to NDC. Don't be afraid to experiment with new booking platforms and tools that leverage NDC technology. And most importantly, embrace the change. The future of travel is here, and it's exciting.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive into NDC. Thanks for joining us and sharing your insight.
It's been a pleasure.
And for our listeners, we hope you found this deep dive informative and thought-provoking. As we've learned, NDC is more than just a technical upgrade. It's a catalyst for a more personalized, dynamic, and customer-centric travel experience. So buckle up. The future of travel is about to take off.